top 5 most dangerous people in the world history. Throughout history, there have been individuals whose actions and influence have left a deep and lasting impact on the world. Today, we delve into the lives of the top 5 most dangerous people in world history whose deeds have caused immense suffering and shaped the course of nations. Let us begin. 5. Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, born Temujin in the early 1160s, was the founder and leader of the Mongol Empire, which became the largest land empire in history. Known for his military prowess and ruthless conquests, Genghis Khan united the Mongol tribes through alliances and military campaigns. Under his leadership, the Mongol Empire expanded rapidly, bringing destruction to numerous cities and civilizations. Genghis Khan's strategies emphasized speed, surprise, and psychological warfare, which allowed his armies to overwhelm their enemies. He implemented innovative tactics such as using cavalry archers and maintaining a disciplined and highly organized military force. Genghis Khan's military campaigns resulted in the loss of millions of lives. Entire cities were annihilated and populations were subjected to brutal massacres and enslavement. However, he also promoted trade and cultural exchange across his vast empire, fostering communication and commerce along the Silk Road. Despite his reputation as a conqueror, Genghis Khan also implemented administrative and legal reforms within his empire. He established a centralized government, promoted religious tolerance, and introduced a code of laws known as the Yasa. Genghis Khan's legacy remains controversial, as his conquests caused immense suffering and upheaval. However, his military genius, leadership skills, and the sheer scale of his empire solidify his status as one of the most formidable and influential figures in world history. 4. Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin, born Yosif Vissarionovich Dzhugashvili in Georgia in 1878, became the leader of the Soviet Union and one of the most notorious dictators in history. Stalin's rule was characterized by authoritarianism, repression, and widespread purges that resulted in the deaths of millions of Soviet citizens. After the death of Vladimir Lenin in 1924, Stalin emerged as the leader of the Soviet Union. He consolidated power through a series of political maneuvers, purging rivals and dissenters within the Communist Party. The Great Purge of the 1930s marked the height of Stalin's repressive regime, with show trials, executions, and mass imprisonments targeting perceived enemies of the state. Stalin implemented forced collectivization of agriculture, seizing private farms and instituting collective farms. This policy resulted in widespread famine, particularly in Ukraine, known as the Holodomor, which caused the deaths of millions due to starvation and government-imposed policies. Under Stalin's rule, a vast system of labor camps, known as the Gulag, was established. Countless individuals, including political dissidents, intellectuals, and ordinary citizens, were sent to these camps where they endured harsh conditions, forced labor, and rampant human rights abuses. Many did not survive the grueling conditions of the Gulag. Stalin's policies extended to the cultural and intellectual realms. He enforced strict censorship, stifled artistic expression, and purged the intelligentsia, instilling fear and control over all aspects of Soviet society. While Stalin's leadership saw the industrialization of the Soviet Union and the country's victory in World War II, his regime caused immense suffering and loss of life. It is estimated that millions of people perished under his rule due to executions, forced labor, famine, and political repression. Stalin's legacy remains controversial, with differing opinions on his achievements and the extent of his crimes. However, his reign of terror and the human suffering inflicted during his rule make him one of the most dangerous and oppressive figures in world history. 3. Pol Pot. Pol Pot, born Saloth Sar in 1925, was the leader of the Khmer Rouge, a communist regime that ruled Cambodia from 1975 to 1979. His reign was marked by extreme brutality and resulted in one of the most devastating genocides in history. Under Pol Pot's leadership, the Khmer Rouge sought to create an agrarian utopia by implementing radical policies. They forcibly evacuated cities, abolished currency, and dismantled institutions, aiming to establish a classless society based on communal labor. Intellectuals, professionals, and anyone associated with that previous government were considered enemies and subjected to torture, execution, or forced labor. Pol Pot's regime caused immense suffering and loss of life. People were forced into labor camps where they endured grueling agricultural work, starvation, and inhumane living conditions. The infamous killing fields were sites where countless Cambodians were executed and buried in mass graves. The scale of the atrocities committed under Pol Pot's regime became known after its overthrow in 1979. The full extent of the genocide shocked the world, with an estimated 2 million people, nearly a quarter of Cambodia's population, perishing due to execution, forced labor or starvation. Pol Pot's ideology and policies left a devastating legacy. Cambodia experienced severe social and economic disruption, and the effects of the genocide continue to reverberate throughout the country today. The survivors and their descendants continue to grapple with the trauma and scars of Pol Pot's reign. Pol Pot's name has become synonymous with cruelty and oppression. His actions stand as a stark reminder of the horrors that can arise from extremist ideologies and unchecked power. The legacy of Pol Pot serves as a chilling cautionary tale of the depths of human cruelty and the importance of upholding human rights and dignity. 2. Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden, born in Saudi Arabia in 1957, was the founder and leader of the extremist Islamist group Al-Qaeda. He became one of the most infamous figures in modern history due to his orchestration of the deadliest terrorist attack ever recorded. Bin Laden's radical ideology sought to establish a global caliphate through violent means. He viewed the United States and its allies as the primary enemies and believed in targeting civilians as a means to achieve his goals. Bin Laden and his followers believed in a distorted interpretation of Islam, using religion as a justification for their acts of terrorism. On September 11, 2001, Al-Qaeda executed a series of coordinated attacks in the United States, hijacking commercial airplanes and crashing them into the World Trade Center towers in New York City and the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. These attacks resulted in the deaths of nearly 3,000 innocent people. Bin Laden's influence extended far beyond 9/11. He inspired and supported numerous other terrorist attacks globally, including the 1998 bombings of the US embassies in Kenya and Tanzania and the 2002 bombings in Bali, Indonesia. His organization aimed to destabilize Western influence in the Middle East and provoke conflict between Muslims and non-Muslims. For years, bin Laden evaded capture, using his knowledge of the rugged terrain of Afghanistan and the support of sympathetic individuals. However, in 2011, US forces located and killed him in a covert operation in Pakistan. Bin Laden's actions and ideology continue to impact global security and shape counter-terrorism efforts. His leadership of Al-Qaeda and his ability to inspire and mobilize individuals to carry out acts of terror make him one of the most dangerous individuals in recent history. While bin Laden's death dealt a blow to Al-Qaeda, the threat of terrorism remains. The fight against extremism and the pursuit of global peace and security continue to be significant challenges faced by nations worldwide. 1. Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler, born in Austria in 1889, was the leader of Nazi Germany and one of the most infamous figures in history. His extremist ideologies and actions led to one of the darkest periods in human history. Hitler's rise to power in Germany was fueled by his nationalist and racist beliefs. He promoted Aryan supremacy and anti-Semitism, scapegoating Jews for Germany's problems and advocating for their persecution. These beliefs culminated in the Holocaust, where 6 million Jews, along with millions of others, were systematically persecuted and killed. Under Hitler's leadership, Nazi Germany embarked on a path of aggressive expansion and militarization. His policies and ambitions resulted in the outbreak of World War II, leading to the deaths of over 70 million people, including millions of civilians who suffered under the brutality of war. Hitler's charismatic leadership and oratory skills allowed him to manipulate the masses and gain widespread support. He used propaganda effectively to spread his ideology and create a cult of personality around himself. The impact of Hitler's actions and his totalitarian regime extended far beyond Germany. The war he instigated, along with his ideological beliefs, left a scar on the world and had profound consequences for millions of people. Hitler's legacy represents the epitome of evil and the dangers of unchecked power. His reign of terror serves as a chilling reminder of the horrors that can arise from hateful ideologies and totalitarian regimes. The Holocaust and the devastation caused by World War II stand as stark reminders of the importance of promoting tolerance, peace, and the protection of human rights. These 5 individuals have shaped history with their dangerous actions and ideologies. Their legacies serve as reminders of the darkest depths of human nature. If you found this information engaging, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more intriguing content. Thank you for your support.